about wisdom, ready to come get some. If you wanna know more, people just listen. It's about wisdom, ready to come
Tonight, we're going to get into a very important topic, important subject, a very dear subject to myself. Not that any of the others weren't, but many of these topics that have come up already and will come in this season, these are things that I have dealt with, I have overcome, I have been through, and I want to help you guys. So, here at the podcast, you're not going to hear anything generic. You're not going to hear anything that's falsified. It's going to be very transparent conversations, very vulnerable conversations, healing conversations. Because if I could have gotten over these things, and if I was able to press through and push through and progress and grow and heal from hurt and all manner of, difficult circumstances, then you definitely can do it. I know that you definitely can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, so tonight we're talking about healing the boy inside the man. I'll say it again, healing the boy inside the man. Healing the boy, for you one more time, inside the man. Believe it or not, there are a lot of men walking around today in their adult age. They're in their 30s, late 20s, 27, 28, 25, 30s, even in their 40s, going into their 50s. There are a lot of men that are broken. They have careers. They have their jobs. They may even be business owners. They are married even. They have children, cars. They may have a house. They may seem like everything is going well and everything is successful, and they might be having success externally, absolutely. But internally, they're still broken. Internally, the little boy has been neglected, has been abandoned, has been overlooked, has been devalued. And as a result, many men, such as myself, have grown up, and we've been forced to suppress, numb, or attempt to numb, or even ignore the pain, ignore the neglect, and go on with life because society tells us that, hey, I'm a man, so I got to get it together. You the man. You got to suck it up. You got to toughen up. You got to deal with it. And I believe that men are leaders. Absolutely. God created us to be leaders. God created us to set the tone for the family, for the family unit, for society. Absolutely. I believe all of that. That is true. It's also true that it's very hard or impossible to give what's never been imparted into you. Until you get that type of leadership or been imparted with or developed in that type of maturity, you can't give that. But society says, men don't cry. Think about, how many of you who may be parents, how many times have you said to your little son, stop the crying. Boys don't cry. Stop the crying. That's for girls. Or, things along that nature, things along those lines. Those things have an effect on us as males, as boys. And it shapes our mentality. It shapes our emotions even. And so we grow up with this idea of, well, I can't show emotion, or I can't cry, or I can't really be vulnerable. I can't show any signs of weakness. I have to be strong, tough, and that's it, period. If I'm not being strong, if I'm not being tough, if I'm not being callous, if I'm not suppressing emotions that I have going on because of things that happened in my childhood or were supposed to happen but didn't happen, was supposed to happen but didn't happen. I got to be tough. I got to be strong. I got to play the part. And so many men are 35, 38, 42, 49, and you name the age, but they're broken. They're in adulthood. They have responsibilities. Got to pay the light bill, got to pay the rent, got to pay the mortgage, got to pay the car note, whatever. Have a job, but broken. There's a void inside. There's fear inside. You're looking at a man who's 37 years old, and over the last 3 years, from the age of 34 to 37, who have really have just begin to come into some real maturity and manhood. Not because I didn't want it, not because I didn't desire it, but the little boy inside of me, things that happened in my childhood, the difficulties in the relationship with my father, and I'm going to expound on that a little bit more. Those things had me broken, had me filled with a lot of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of fear. And even though I'm getting older in age, or I'm advancing in age, those things are still driving me because they were never dealt with. I'm still responding emotionally like a little boy. There's many men out there that's still responding like the 7-year-old, like the 5-year-old, like the 11-year-old, like the 13 or the 17-year-old. Because it happened. We were abused. We were neglected. We were looked over. We weren't handled properly. We were mishandled. And we had to deal with it. Nobody addressed it. Nobody said anything about it. We had to suck it up because society says we're tough. Society says you're not supposed to cry. Society says be stronger than that. And we grew up with all this anger, all this unresolved pain, and all of these negative emotions that still have us as little boys really wanting affirmation, really wanting identity. We really want to know who we are. We really want to know what to do in life. Where do I go? What's my purpose? So there are many men who are frustrated internally, who are fearful, who are angry, who are broken internally, even in their adult years. In talking about, men and where we are and what many of us are dealing with, in my experiences and even in my research, I found that for children as a whole, but tonight we're speaking about the man, the male, when there is a disconnect or a dysfunction with sons and fathers, that creates a big, big problem. A huge void, an emptiness, being lost, not having a sense of direction. And trying to figure it out on your own, trying to just go through life and do it and I'm going to wing it, that's not living successfully. That's not living purposefully. And I can tell you from experience, that's quite frustrating. Because it feels like I'm trying everything, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I find that a lot of this disconnect has come from from fathers being absent, whether it be them not being there physically. Daddy is gone. Mom and dad divorced or they never got married. Now dad is gone. He's not in the home. He's not involved. He's not there. He's out of there, period. Or it can happen where dad is present. Daddy physically didn't go anywhere, but he didn't give me anything. He didn't develop me. He didn't talk to me about finances and money and how I should respond emotionally? How do I interact with females? How do I interact with males? How do I respect authority? He was here, but he didn't develop me totally. And hand clapping, kudos to the fathers that have chosen to be present or to be physically present, but being physically present isn't enough, because there's more things that we need. There's more development. There's more impartation. There's more things that need to be put in us and embedded and instilled in us as boys and going into teen and into men, more than your physical presence. So I've found that disconnect has come because of fatherlessness. Where are the fathers? So we live in a day now where it's a lot of men who are looking, who are reaching out for fathers. They need a father figure. They need someone that's going to develop them and mature them for real and help them to understand how to be a man. Not only a male. It's easy to be a male. We understand the makeup, the anatomy of a male. We're going to have hands. We're going to have feet. We're going to have, a penis. We can have sex. We can get a woman pregnant. That comes with being a male. The anatomy, the makeup. But who's teaching us how to be men? Who's teaching us how to be men? We need fathers. And I want to say to all the mothers, I want a hand clap to all the mothers. Let's give them a hand that have done their best. The single mothers, if the fathers chose not to step up and not to be there, they've done their best. There are many mothers who have tried and they've provided. They've worked jobs and they've provided opportunities for their children, and they did the best they could. And the truth of the matter is, as much and as excellent a job as mom does, she can't be dad. She can't be father. So the void that is left by fathers is something that cannot be compensated for by a mother. That's what it is. Mothers will never, they will never ever be able to be fathers. And vice versa. Fathers will never be able to be mothers. So fathers are absolutely necessary. They are absolutely necessary. I want to give you some, statistics that I found in my research that were very amazing to me, but it's very telling. Okay, again, we're talking about healing the boy inside the man. In children with absent fathers, okay, there's a study done, and this was done across a wide demographic. It wasn't just African American, but this was in a wide African American, Caucasian, and minorities, as they would classify it for the research. Children whose fathers are absent are 4 times more likely to end up poor. I'll say it again. Children whose fathers are absent are 4 times more likely to end up poor. That's an amazing stat. So if you all can hear me and you still can see me, just type, let me know, give a thumbs up, let me know, so that I know that I'm having a little bit of interference with the equipment here. So just let me know I'm still there. Let me know I'm still there and you can still hear me. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Here's another statistic. Absent fathers, children whose fathers are absent, are more likely, thank you for the thumbs up, I see it, are more likely to be delinquents in jail, in the prison system, turn out to be alcoholics, drug abusers, and find other dangerous coping mechanisms. So we're talking about healing the man. Well, how do we healing the boy inside the man? Well, how do we begin at the root of that? I believe it begins with fathers knowing who they are and taking their place. Fathers understanding that they give their sons identity. They give their sons affirmation. They are the ones responsible for the development of their sons. They give their sons vision. They chart a course for their sons. And when you don't have that, you have what is broken men who respond as little boys. No wonder when we get into our teenage years or our early 20s, teenage years, we don't know how to handle women. We find our sense of worth in sex, our ability to have sex real good. I can make this girl feel good, or I got, whatever. I got a big penis. She like it, or she likes the way I work it. However, and we put our value in sex. That's another coping mechanism. It doesn't have to always or only be drugs. We don't always end up in jail. I've never been in jail. I've never been on drugs. But I know that I've been a person that have put value in, okay, my ability to make a woman feel good in sex. Okay, I'm saying something, I'm doing something. All right. I don't know what else is going on in my life, but at least I feel good about that. And so whoever the woman is, that'll let me prove myself, prove my worth, because inside, really, I'm fearful. I'm afraid. I don't really know who I am. And I don't want you to know that. I don't want you to be able to pick up on that. I don't want people to pick up on that. So let me find something that I know I'm good at. And this is what makes me a man. And so I can get a girl pregnant. Babies can come. But I'm not anywhere close to understanding what it means to be a man. I'm responding, I'm functioning, I'm living like a little boy. No identity. No understanding of integrity, of purpose. Fathers provide this. And so we need to, I want to say to fathers, if you're a father and you're listening, make sure that you're in a position where you are dealing with what you never had, or the neglect that you may have faced, or the development that you did not get. Make sure you're putting yourself in a position to be that, so that you can give your sons what they need. We're responsible for it. So we need fathers to take back their rightful place. Mothers, we understand that you do an excellent job. You do a great job. Mothers stepping in, but you can't be the father. And you can't make the son, because the father is gone, now you make him the man of the house, or you treat him like your husband, your spouse, or your boyfriend. We can't handle that. One of the statistics shows that children without fathers, they reach puberty quicker. They accelerate in a way that they shouldn't. And it can actually alter, or in fact, I should say, it will alter the structure of their brain. So we have many men out here who look the part. They can dress up. They have the swagger. They have the style. But that little boy is broken on the inside. That little boy is not attended to. Those emotions are not matured. They don't know how to handle conflict. They don't know how to handle hardship. And I'm saying all these things because you're looking at somebody that has come through this and have had to go through steps and be committed to the steps that it take to be matured, to be healed. So tonight, we're healing the boy inside the man. Again, thank you for joining me. You're listening to the Murphy's Law podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts. If you are on YouTube, hey, everybody. For those of you watching live tonight, good evening. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing. Please share the video. Tag somebody. Let them know. This is a conversation for everybody, not just for males. So how do we begin to heal the boy inside the man? We understand what's out there, right? We understand there are many men that are up in age, they're in adulthood, but they're still broken. They respond from their pain. They respond from the dysfunctions of their childhood. And that can come from, the dysfunctions can come from many different areas or in many different ways. And I haven't gone into great detail about what the several dysfunctions are. If you're a man and you've been through it, you know what they are. You could have been molested. You could have been left to figure out life on your own. Dad could have been gone, and you could have felt worthless and felt rejected. That's another key one. Rejection. Do you know how many men walk around looking good? They may even have an expensive car, but they battle and deal with rejection and have never resolved or never dealt with it. And so they walk around being rejected. And the way they interact with people in their relationships, in their decisions, is from rejection. But you can absolutely overcome all of the things that I've laid out for the past 20 minutes. All of the dysfunctions, all of what I've mentioned, the hurt, the pain, all of that. I'm telling you, you're looking at a man who has. You can come through and conquer all of that. And we can heal the boy inside the man. So how do we do that? As I said, we need fathers. We need fathers present. And if you're someone who doesn't have your biological father in place, you're not able to have that relationship, then there are father figures. You know, I thank God for my spiritual father, my father figure that he put in my life that came to pick up all the pieces that were left and that weren't handled right. So God will definitely provide that for you. But we need fathers. We need someone who's going to understand exactly who we are, my identity, my purpose, who I should be, how I should carry myself. You're a leader. You don't do that. Leaders don't talk that way. Leaders don't react that way. Leaders don't respond that way. Leaders don't do this. Leaders, we need those voices. We need fathers speaking into us and giving us direction. I'll give you an example of today. Again, I'm 37 years old, and I was so excited to come and do the podcast tonight. And this is something new this topic is something new that I am discussing. And I was excited and even a little nervous because it's new, it's unfamiliar territory that I'm charting. But my spiritual father went live today. I saw it. And immediately, me being able to see him handle himself with poise, with intelligence, with intellect, with information, with revelation, it gave me peace. And so the nervousness or the uneasiness I was feeling about coming to do this tonight, it went away. And I'm 37 years old. And most people or some people would think, well, when you get to a certain age, you don't need that affirmation. You don't need that. Yes, you do. Yes, you absolutely do. So, men, I want to talk to you for a minute. Well, I'm talking to everybody because these are tips that can help everybody. If you're a mother, a single mother, and the father is not present in your son's life, pray to God to send a father figure. Someone who God sends that can develop them, that know who they are, that see their potential and can develop it. Pray for that, because you can't be mom and dad. You can try to be mothers. I'm speaking to you, but you can't be mom and dad. So pray for that. It's something different about when your father speak to you. It's something different about when your father say no. It's something very unique and innate or put in you, that God put in you, instinctive, when your father says no, the way you respond, the way it reverberates inside of you. It's different from when mom says no or yes or whatever she may say. It's valid what mom says. Oh, but when dad speaks, when father speaks, it's different. When father corrects, it's different. When father affirms, it's different. All right? So here we go. Healing the boy inside of the man. There are many men who have come up in age and you feel like, you know what, I've done this long enough. I don't need nobody. I've tried to figure it out all by myself. But the truth is, you need help. If you're a man listening, you need help. You know the emotions that are going on inside of you. You know the thoughts that you have. You know what you battle with. You know the fear that's there. You know the rejection that you deal with. You need help. Forget what people said before about, oh, you're a man and you got to do this and you got to do that and men don't do this and men don't do that. No, you got to be vulnerable now. You have to deal with what hasn't been dealt with, those emotions that haven't been dealt with, that boy that was not nurtured, that boy that wasn't developed, that wasn't given identity. You got to deal with that now. And yes, it's going to require you to cry. Yes, it's going to require you to be vulnerable. It's going to require you to be transparent. But you need it. You need it. You need help. Yes, you got the car. You may have a job. You may have a nice career going. Whatever it may be, you still need a father. I have a friend of mine. We were recently having a conversation a week and a half ago, and they're about to be 40, and they said to me, I feel like I've been doing the wrong thing my entire life. This is an individual who does not know his biological father and has no fatherly example or father figure to speak into him to help develop him. And about going into 40 years old, he's saying, I feel like everything I've done up to this point is wrong. Can you imagine the type of frustration to be alive 40 years and everything you try doesn't work? What you think is the next thing to do, the next step to do, the next relationship to be in, the next job to have, the next this, the next that, and it doesn't work. So age and being 40 or being 35 doesn't mean, men, that we are able to figure it out or handle it. We've never been developed. We need help. And sometimes we can get in our own way because of this macho mentality, this, yeah, I'm a man. Yeah, I'm strong. Yeah, I'm this. And there's so much pride there that we can't get help. It's hard for us to say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm afraid. I don't know what's next. We're afraid to say that. We're afraid to verbalize that because it makes us feel weak. It can make you feel unintelligent. It can make you feel stupid. Whatever those emotions are, I'm here to tell you, you need the help. And it's okay to feel all of those emotions. I get it. I can't tell you how to feel and how not to feel. But what I can tell you is, and what I will encourage you to do is, get that help. When there's a father that's come into your life, if you position yourself to be fathered, I'll say, get the help. Don't refuse it. Kick away the pride. I get it. You didn't get it before now, but now you have it. One of the things that I've constantly forced myself to do is not think about what I didn't get from the age of a baby boy to 34 or 33. I don't think about that. I think about what I'm getting now. I think about the future. I think progressively. Yeah, I didn't have it. I have it now. I made a mistake before, but now I have the right instructions to help me to move forward. All right? So men, don't be afraid to get the help. Don't refuse the help. All right? And you might be saying, well, I don't know where to turn. I don't know where to go. I don't know. You know, it could start out by asking to be mentored. There may be a man that you see that exemplifies integrity and so many other things, and it can start at that level, being asked to mentor, but you have to put yourself in that position to get help. Not somebody that, you know, that's going to allow you to be how you are and continue to be led by your pain and make bad decisions and wrong decisions, immature decisions, selfish decisions. Get the help. All right. Number 2, that was one tip. Okay. We're talking about healing the boy inside the man. And we're going to deal with this for another week. I'm going to have special guests to come, and because I really want us to, as men, develop and grow and take our rightful positions. Some of us are fathers, some of us are not, but it doesn't even matter if you're a father or not. I'll say it like this. We need integral men. We need men out there that know how to be men. God established the man as the foundation. So it's not left up to whether we have a spouse or not, whether we have children or not. We should be who we are because that's how God intended it to be. You should be a man because that's how God intended it to be. All right. Number 2, don't quit. Get the help. Position yourself to get the help. And when you get the help, when you get a father that has come into your life and is now speaking to all the things that you didn't get when you were a youngster, all the areas in you that were neglected, all the areas in you that was rejected, that was overlooked and devalued. When you're getting that now, don't quit. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel strange. Oh, what is this? I never felt this before. The love, the attention, the affirmation, the rebuke, the discipline. And I'm not talking about physical discipline, but disciplines that will be given to you, that will be instilled and established. So when you get these things, it's going to feel different. You haven't had it for 35 years, 29 years, 46 years. It's going to feel different. It's going to feel strange. But don't quit. You're strong. Don't quit. Endure. Get the love. Get the healing. I'll tell you, it's going to take time to become comfortable in receiving and knowing how to receive what you haven't had your whole entire life. It's going to take time. There's going to be times where for a month it feels good and you're like, yes. And then the next month will come and you'll be like, oh, I don't even know, because this is too good to be true. How do I know that this person is not going to abandon me? How do I know that this person is not going to now reject me? So you're going to go through all of those tormenting thoughts, or you can. It's a possibility that you will. But I'm telling you, stay the course. Don't quit. And eventually what seemed foreign and what seemed unfamiliar will bring you in a place of stability and intelligence and structure, and you'll know yourself like you've never known yourself before. Number 3, men, I'm talking to us. How do we heal? We're talking about healing the boy inside the man. You got to change your company. Yep. You got to change your company. All the friends you used to be around, all the guys you used to be around with that old mentality, and those, they themselves are broken and they themselves want to figure out life on their own and want to do just what they want to do. You got to change that company, because now they're not accommodating the development that's happening in you, the healing that's happening in you. You don't want nobody that is going to be a hindrance or be in opposition of the progress that you're going to make. Oh, bro, what you mean you love him? No, I don't even say that. Or, bro, you crying now? Whatever they say. So you have to change your company, and you have to you have to let yourself be guided in how to choose company now, from the identity that you're coming into, the identity that's being formed. I told those of you that have listened to the podcast every week, thank you for doing so. But I've told them, and for those of you that are listening, I just found out at 35, around 36, that I like fishing. My whole life, didn't even know it. But there was so much pain and rejection that I felt, that a lot of the things that I did do, even a lot of the things that I thought I liked, I did them. I engaged in them because I wanted so-and-so to like me. I wanted this person to accept me. I wanted my wife not to leave me. I wanted this friend to think I'm good enough to be his friend or her friend. So all of my decision making, my perception, my thinking, everything was driven from the broken little boy. And there's no way I'm going to live a fulfilled life living like that. There's no way I'm going to know who I am for real, what I really like for real. I think about the scene in Coming to America. What do you like? Whatever you like. What do you like? Whatever you like. No identity. And that was me. And so I had to, once I began to form in my identity, man, I'm telling you, I understood, my company has to change, because they don't think like I think. No, that's not how men treat women. Nah, men are integral. Nah, we don't steal. Nah, we don't lie. All right, so change your company. Number 4. This is the last one I'm going to give for tonight. And then we're going to pick this up some more. I'm going to have some special guests, and we're going to go deeper, all right? Because we need as men, we need to heal. Listen to me. The world depends on it. Society depends on it. Whether you've heard that before or not, it depends on the reestablishment of the man taking or proper position or rightful place as men, as business owners, as fathers, as brothers, as leaders, as teachers, whatever it may be. Okay? Here's number 4. You got to choose. You have to make the choice that you're going to grow. You have to make up in your mind, have a commitment, have a conviction. I'm going to grow. I'm not going to go back to the pain. I'm not going to go back to the dysfunction. I'm not going to go back to the little boy that's throwing temper tantrums and shutting down. I make a choice. I'm going to choose to grow. I have a father in my life now. I have someone who's helping to develop me, to establish me. I'm going to choose to grow. You got to make that choice. Forget what the other person is doing or not doing. You got to make a choice for you to grow. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the beginning and the middle, it's up to you. Whether you become healed or you allow yourself to be helped through that, it's up to you. You got to make that choice. Nobody else can make that choice for you, man. Nobody else can go through the process for you, man. It's up to you, man. Okay? So get help. Put yourself in a position where you can be helped. And listen, it may be a situation where you're going through life and you meet a gentleman and he says to you, I want to mentor you, or I'm gonna take you under my wing, or however the relationship comes about. It may not be you choosing that person. Most times that's not even how it goes, really. So put yourself in a place to get help. Don't quit, because you're gonna feel like it, especially when you haven't been established in pursuing or not pursuing, but persisting and persevering. Yeah, you're absolutely gonna feel like, all right, I don't know, I'm done with this, I'm through with this. Don't quit, man. That little boy inside you is getting healed. All that void, that brokenness is coming back together. Change your company. Be around people who is going to accommodate where you are now, not the immature little boy. Not the ones that's going to say, all right, let's go smoke, let's go drink, let's go get some girls, let's go holler at some girls, let's go do this, let's go waste time, let's chase money, or whatever it is. You got to change your company and choose. Make the choice to grow. I want to thank those of you that are listening via the podcast, whether it be Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you may get your podcast. I want to thank you. You are listening to Murphy's Law Podcast. Murphy's Law stands for, or the law stands for, Let's Apply Wisdom. If you want to contact us, you want to hear a particular subject matter, or you want to be a guest on the show, you're a man that have come through a lot. You understand what it means to be broken. I would love to have you on the show. Email me at letsapplywisdom@gmail.com. If you've been helped, if you want to sow into me, if you want to give, I would love it. I would appreciate it. Money sign, this is for Cash App, money sign, Murphy's Law Podcast. Money sign, Murphy's Law Podcast. All right? So, it's been a great night. I'm excited about what's going to happen inside the male. I'm excited, or the man, I should say, what's going to happen inside of men. I'm excited for the growth that's going to happen. I'm excited for us taking our rightful place and being who we should be and setting the tone and being the leaders that we should be in every aspect and in every area of life. I'm excited to see where we're going to go. I'm excited to see what we're going to be. We can do it. You can come through it. You don't have to respond from the pain. You don't have to respond from the little boy who was hurt and rejected and neglected. It happened. It was real. Let's deal with it. Let's cry about it. Let's be angry about it. Let's come through all the emotions. Let your father, let the one who God will send, let that father figure, let that mentor, let them help you come through all of that. Cry, snot, everything, whatever you got to do. Be angry. Let the thoughts come. Verbalize them. Say them. Go through the whole process. But I promise you that you can come through all that brokenness and be exactly the man that God created you to be. Be exactly the father that God created you to be. Be exactly the husband that God created you to be. That's my encouragement to you tonight. That's the wisdom for tonight. Let's apply it. If you are a woman, you're listening, a female, you're listening, you may have sons, or you may not. You may even have nephews, or you have a friend that has children or little boys. I pray that this information tonight, what you got, this wisdom, you can help share it to them. Help them get in a better place. Say, hey, listen, have you considered this or that? The father may not be there, or whatever the situation may be. But this wisdom is for everyone tonight. Everyone can benefit from it. Okay? Listen, I'm going to be right back here next week. Yes, I am. I'm going to be right back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be back, and we're going to have a wonderful time. I have special guests that are coming up, and we're going to grow, man. We're going to progress. It's time out for wasting time. It's not the time now to be aimlessly going through life. Nah. It's time to live in purpose. It's time to get some wisdom. It's time to apply it. It's time to be exactly who we should be and make the impact that God created us to make in this life, in this world, on this earth. All right? So meet me back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Murphy's Law podcast, where we apply wisdom. Okay, I'm so excited and thankful for those of you that watch tonight, for those of you that listen tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. It means a great deal to me. I love you all. Love each other. Love on people. Don't be mean. And men, listen to me. We definitely can come past and through all the brokenness that we've experienced. And we are definitely healing the boy inside the man.
Let's apply wisdom, run it, come get some. If you want to know more, people just listen. Let's apply wisdom, run it, come get some.